Good morning, everybody. Looks like Tristan is on.
What's up, guys?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
David Jr. is on. So while we're waiting, thank you guys for being here. I'm really gonna turn this over to David because he was the reason we made this happen. So I'm gonna turn it over to David.
Let me just start with this. You're the reason anything happens.
Yeah.
Let me just be very clear about that, please, Kyle.
Mostly bad. Mostly bad. Okay, so I'm gonna turn it over to David and let him make an introduction and kind of get this party started. So go for it, David.
First and foremost, thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Nino. Richard, I see you there. Thank you, Joey. Send me your text this morning, Joey. I've been waiting for that bad boy. All right. I want to introduce, Tristan. Obviously, I know Tristan was here a few weeks ago. Tristan has tremendous value on what we're trying to do, obviously, with Hollywood Title. By the way, the name change is coming soon, so get ready for that. What we're trying to do is obviously something that we've done for years.
Can you tell us the name change?
What's that?
Can you tell us the name change?
I can't because I don't even know yet. I just got word this morning that the DOI, we have approval and we should be getting their response very soon. So I don't even know what it's going to be, but it might be this bad boy here. It might be, if we're lucky, if God is good. So anyways, back to Tristan. This is cool. Obviously, I know he's presented for you guys before. It brings me great joy to represent him, and I want to commit to you guys this. We've been providing value to All Stars for over a dozen years. That's not going to change, and we're only going to do more and more of it. So we have actually, with our alignment with Tristan, been able to roll out a platform and a consistent training that we're going to do every month for you guys. So just know that this is just the beginning. Without further ado, less of me and more of Tristan, but I give to you the one and only Tristan Ahumada.
That was fast. Good transition, dude.
Yeah.
You guys want to get started, or you want to wait for a few more people to come in? Any other announcements, or what do you guys have?
No, I mean you can go ahead and get started. I'm recording it, so people who jump on late, they'll be able to see it too.
I love it, man. All right, so last time we spoke, I talked about some of the things we should be looking at for tech and obviously mindset. Today, I want to really put into perspective what you need to be looking at for 2021, because it's just around the corner, right? And I want you to be taking a look at the newest things, and I want you to be taking a look at this so that you can apply it for your business. Because at the end of the day, we're just in it to create relationships and at the same time make some money, right? So for those of you that are just joining us, hi, I see a couple of hey Tristans. Hey, how's everybody doing? All right, so I'm always looking at things in a way that allows me to put my principles into play. And if you haven't taken a chance to look at what those principles are in your life, I think right now is the perfect time to do it. Some of you are going to take a few days off for Thanksgiving, a few days off for Christmas, and I want to start off with principles. And principles are really the values that you have. Principles it's your operating system that you operate your life with. So think of your computer. You've got OS, right, operating the iOS for Apple, and you've got the PC runs off of Microsoft usually, right? And so there's an operating system that you have, but you don't ever take time to think about what these principles are in your life. I mean, I can almost guarantee that all of you here haven't taken the time to write down what these principles are in your life. And so I want to share with you first what those principles are in my life so that it can give you an example of what you should be looking at in your life, because we all operate a little bit differently. We all have certain values that drive us, and all of us have those principles. We just have to put them into play. And let me outline here. I actually took the time to create this earlier this year, and I made it prettier for me just visually because I like to share it with my kids. And so here are the principles that I live by. And I took time to think about this because it's really important. I need to understand who I am. I need to be aware of how I function. I need to be aware of why I make certain decisions. I need to be aware of why I react a certain way when somebody talks back to me a certain way. And so I realized that everything that I do is always driven by this urgency that I have. And I'm always looking to innovate. And what does innovate look like in my life? Well, the definition of that to me is always moving forward in this world, in the sense of either making a better process or a better system out of what I already have in my world, or actually creating new standards. And so when I look at a business like us, like our real estate business, we can all innovate. We can look at it and say, well, what process or system can I improve on in 2021 so that I can make more money? And I can already tell you, it's going to be automation. It's going to be that delegation, right? It's going to be that leverage. You're either going to bring in a piece of technology that's going to improve on your systems, or it's going to be someone, hopefully a talented someone, that you're going to hire that'll allow you to be able to grow, right? Either or. And so I always start with innovation because I realize that that's how I lead, right? Next, systems. And I'm showing you this as an example so that you can think, well, what are my principles? All right, so this is just an example. Systems, every leader knows of the importance of systems, yes. You look at the most amazing companies out there, those successful people out there, and they have systems in place. That means if they were to remove themselves from their current business and plug in someone else that is talented, their company or their business could still run. What are those systems that you have in place? What are those processes that you have in place? And now's a good time to look at it and say, okay, do I operate like this? And then obviously the next one, people first. I even have a quote there because Sam Walton, when he ran Walmart, he said, if you want a successful business, your people must feel that you're working for them, not that they're working for you. And I think that is how you lead people. If people that are around you, and I'm talking about your clients, your customers, and even those people that work with you, if they always feel like you're the one giving to them and not taking, they will slowly gravitate to you and want to work with you more. And so I lead with people first. This is why I give so much back. Awareness, this is something that's just been, I don't know what's happened over the last few years in our world, but man, this is something that's tough in our world right now. And I think all of us can take a look at this and say, well, we need to work on awareness. What does that mean? Well, awareness comes in so many different levels. Awareness comes in just the simplest level of being aware of your emotions, of your reactions, being aware of what you should say or what you shouldn't say based on where you are and those people around you. And more importantly, being empathetic, right? Because a lot of the times we don't realize that we say something and we never put ourselves in the position of the person that we're talking to truly feel what they're feeling. And once we start becoming more aware, we realize that we get more business because we're connecting more with people, because we start understanding what they're thinking and how they process information. And so the next one is resilience. This, hands down, I think I learned this just by being in real estate since 2003, 2004. I've been knocked down on my butt so many times in real estate. It's part of real estate. So many ups and downs. And I think those that are here right now can truly understand that being in real estate, it's going to knock you down. You get hit left and right in the process of an hour. Like, oh, I've got this deal. No, I don't. Oh, they said yes. Ooh, no. Oh, it just canceled. Oh, they saved it. That's on top of all the psychological issues we have dealing with some clients sometimes. And I think being a great leader, you need to be resilient. You need to anticipate that, look, whatever I get into in real estate, I've got to put it in my mind that whatever happens, I'm going to rise above the challenge. And lastly, kindness. This I feel like sometimes is a lost art, right? A lost principle, even a lost value. I remember, and I'm going to remove this. I can send this over to you guys if you need, but one of the things that I remember being told over and over and over and over again, growing in this business, is that kindness wasn't going to get me anywhere. That I was too kind to some people on my team. That I should be more hard to some people on my team. That I should be more direct and more aggressive. And I tried it. And I was like, oh yeah, I should be. And I was like, I was kind of being a hard ass sometimes. And it just didn't vibe with who I was. And I realized that the opposite opened more doors for me. It brought down walls. It connected me to the most amazing people around the world because they saw that I didn't have a second agenda. I was just there to help. And I think sometimes we overthink it, but kindness is the biggest strength you can have in this business. It's not the opposite. When you lead with kindness, people feel this authenticity that comes across from you because you truly care about them. You truly care about helping them. And the one thing that will turn people to work with you is when they feel like you're working for them, right? Just like Walton said from Walmart. And I think you have to remember that going into 2021, because for some reason, the environment that we're in right now, it almost makes you feel like you can say whatever you want just because it's your opinion. And that's not the way you want to lead in this world, especially in the real estate world and on social media. I mean, you see some people getting the guts to go on social media and be like, hey, I think this and this and this and this is wrong, and this is who I'm voting for, and this is screw everybody else. Is that the type of business you want to attract? With so much emotion, drawing lines, pushing other people out instead of trying to unite everyone? Because that's the vibe you're giving out. And so you see, I have the last one as leading with kindness because it is the most important one. That's the kind of business you want to create. Because there are those leaders that lead, and then there's the great leaders, the greatest leaders that lead with kindness and truly are successful, right? Because there are people that, at the very top, that have trampled their way on top of others. And I don't consider those people to be successful because there's something wrong inside. And so that needs to be your purpose this next few months. Hey, let's focus on our principles. What are they? How do I operate? And are some of my principles off? Now with that, once you've got that all lined up and you're like, got it, I understand, I've written out my principles, you need to start looking at places online that you can shift to be able to grow your business. And I don't know if any of you have heard of Position Zero on Google. Raise your hand if you've heard of Position Zero on Google. All right, good. So Position Zero came out in 2014, and Google created this little area at the very top of, usually when you search on Google, let's say, you know what? Search Position Zero if you want on Google. You can see what it is. And at the very top, it's a little area that's separated that Google says this or these combinations of articles are the authority in what you just typed in. So it supersedes everything else, and it creates a little box around these. Now, usually it's a combination of 3, 4, 5, 6 different websites or articles. That's position 0. And what you need to shoot for is position 0, because it's free for us. And it's that value and content you start creating through video and through written word, blogging, but in a niche area. And only you know the areas that you cover. So my suggestion is this, and this is because we're doing it. My suggestion is you pick a track, you pick an area inside of where you work. Don't pick the whole city. Don't pick the whole town, because everybody's typing about LA. Everybody's typing about Beverly Hills, but who's typing about that little track and all the information around that track? You've got to start looking at giving more information about a specific little area, continually telling people where to eat, where to go, what parks there are, what's there to do, who's hiking where and what trails, what are the best shops in the area, what do the tracks look like, what do the model homes look like, what does everything look like in that specific area, along with the street names. And all of a sudden, you start seeing that push in that specific area. So if anybody's interested, people find you on Google. So people are like, oh, well, do I need a website? What do I need? Well, look, all you need is a blog. You can use Medium to start. Medium, like small, medium, large. Just type in Medium. That's a blog you can use if you don't have a website. But if you have a website, obviously blog in your website so people can find you. So that's number one for me. I'm looking at going deeper on Google. The last time I was on, I talked about Google PPC, and we own Google PPC in a few different areas out here. So I suggest that you still look at Google PPC, because there are ways that some companies are doing it which have leveled up. And I'll tell you one story since I've talked to you. I think it was since I've talked to you. We get a lead August 2nd through Google PPC. Looking in Malibu. She's like, oh, I'm just looking. My agent calls her up. He's like, oh, I'm just looking, and I don't even know if we want to purchase this year, but my husband's out in New York, and I don't even know our price range, but send me what's available anywhere between 4 million to 15 million. I said, okay. So we send it out, and my agent, his name's Mark Rader. Mark sends it out and follows up with her. Google PPC lead. Maybe a week later, because he's following up and sending her property, she calls him up and says, hey, I really like this one. Can we go see it? He's like, okay, definitely. Sets up an appointment, goes and sees it. It's about $10 million on the beach. And so goes and sees it. She says, I really like this one, but I have to bring my husband on. He's in New York. So he flies down 10 days later. This is from, remember, August 2nd. Now we're 21 days later. Flies down, comes and sees it. He does not like it. He says, I don't like the feel. I don't like the direction. I'm looking for something else. The listing agent is listening in with us. The listing agent says, hey, I've got a pocket listing about a block away on the beach. 10.5 million, not on the market yet, obviously. You want to go take a look at it right now? He's like, yeah, I'd love to take a look at it. Takes a look at it, loves the home, puts in an all cash offer, 10.5 million from Google PPC. That's within a 20-day process from start to finish. The commission is $262,000. So online leads, they work. You just need a process. You need a process to be able to follow so that you can do this. And that's just one of our many stories.
Tristan, really quick, just to piggyback on that. So for those on the chat that don't know what PPC means or stands for, how would you best explain it?
It's a pay-per-click. So you give Google, let's say you give Google $2,000 a month, and you say, hey, Google, I want this area, let's say, I don't know, let's pick a smaller area in Anaheim, right? And then Google then uses a whole bunch of keywords so that when people type in properties for sale in this area around this school, you pop up. And then they go to your website and then they visit it, right? So with Google PPC, there's a lot more intent than the Facebook lead ads, right? Because people know where they want to live. They're typing it specifically. And so I'm giving you a story, and there are a lot of stories like that, that I really need you to open your mind to, because the world is online right now. And I really need you to focus on what tools you can use to leverage that for yourself. Right. So good question, David. PPC is pay per click. So, and depending on the area, they average about $6 a lead to about $15 a lead, depending on where.
And if any agents wanted to venture into that arena, where do they go sign up? I mean, are they just Googling Google PPC?
No, they would go to either Chime, 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 or you can go to YLOPO. They're local. They're out of Venice or Santa Monica. YLOPO.
Thank you, sir.
Good question, man. Good question. Any questions before I shift? No? Good. Just type it in the chat. I'll grab you.
You said like that's $5 to $6 for Google, right? But like Zillow, Realtor, that cost is like $25 or $30, right? So but that funnel's a lot better typically than Google pay-per-click, right? Is what you said last time, and that's what you said before.
Yeah, you got it. I mean, when we're looking at Zillow or Realtor.com leads for my area, like Westlake Village, Thousand Oaks, Calabasas, Malibu, I'm looking at $150 to $200 a lead from Zillow or Realtor.com. So that's significantly higher for me than Google PPC, right? And we're getting practically the same results right now because of our systems. So good question on that, man. Good question. All right, so as your business grows here, you need to look at technology that helps with the interaction and the personal side of things for your business. And you need to look at your website. Number one, is it mobile friendly? Because if I go and visit your site on my phone, which most searches are done on the phone, right? What am I finding? Is it even easy to search? What's the transition look like if I'm on Facebook and Instagram to your website? And you've got to think like, well, why would I be advertising on Facebook and Instagram? And I don't remember if I showed this last time, but let me show you one report that Facebook brought up. June, this is a June, let me see here, June 2020. There you go. June 2020, specifically for real estate. They now have reports that they build out for real estate, for the industry. Now take a look at this. This is why Instagram and Facebook are so important. 217 million Americans are on Facebook every month. That's 70% of the population. Put that into perspective as to why you need to be advertising there and retargeting people. And look how many a day. 168 million Americans use Facebook daily. And they spend an hour and 15 minutes a day on social. That's between Facebook and Instagram. That's their report. And if you want that report, David, I'll send it over to you so you can share it with everybody. But that puts it into perspective. If people are on Facebook, how do they transition over to your website? And does your website look nice on mobile? And is there interaction? I mean, do you even have the chat bot on? Because the thing people want to make sure that you understand what they love without having to really talk to you. And that's why I love, like I told you before, the dynamic ads for real estate, which is me retargeting them on social. And as they engage, they're sent properties automatically based on what they're engaging with, right? Now you have machine learning built into it. That's personal. That's interactive. This is what people want, because all they want to do once you're ready is they're going to raise their hand or reach out to you and be like, okay, I want to take a look at this property. And so you have to start looking at your business this way. Is it running this way? Because even with past clients or your sphere, you don't want them to end up going somewhere else because you didn't retarget them on Facebook and Instagram, or even by email or voicemail, or even by text. You have to look at what systems and processes to put in place so that it's automated, because you can't be everywhere, but your tools can, right? And then let's get into video here, because I mean, video, the way video is being used in social media just over the last year has changed a lot. And you can blame TikTok for that. But it all started with stories, right? Instagram stories. And it all started with Snapchat stories. That's what it really started with. Then Instagram took it and said, hey, look what we can do. Then TikTok brought it to a whole nother level and said, hey, why don't we just build a whole social media outlet out of it? Let me show you what we can do. And now you have 60-second video clips or less that engage with people. So the trending thing right now to do to be able to capture people's attention are 60 seconds or less, specifically 15 seconds. Really short, to the point. That's what people are looking for. Whether it's a message through text, whether it's a message through social on all the platforms, whether it's a message through email. Nobody wants to sit through a 5-minute talk about whatever you're going to talk about an open house or a listing or anything, really. My attention span, and I read a lot, my attention span on a video is like this, right? Because I guard my time. I want you to get to the point fast. So my suggestion would be to really start looking at social media as a place that you can deliver a message. And you know what? I'm just going to show you something. I don't think I had this last time because I just built it out. Hold on. You guys might appreciate this. There's a couple of things. And Dave, anything I share here, I'll send over to you, okay?
Deal. I know my dad's on the Zoom call. We give him the top 3 reasons why he should get a Facebook account yesterday. Let's start with that.
Oh, heck yeah, dude. I mean, dude, if you didn't see that first, number 1 reason, 70% of the entire population of US is on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's number 1.
That's number 1.
Yeah. Let me just open this other thing out. You guys are going to love this one.
Bravo needs to jump on TikTok at this point.
I'm going to show you some things on TikTok.
Let's go all in.
You know what? My kids never missed a meal.
My kids never surprising things.
My kids never missed a meal.
All right. Kids never missed a meal. I love it. All right, here we go. I built this out, I think, at the end of September. And I had my design team create this for October, November, and December. I built this out, so you're not going to find this anywhere else unless somebody's sharing it with you that I shared it with. And that's a day-by-day what to do, what to post to social. Like literally me holding your hand telling you, hey, David, this is what you're going to post today. All right? And it alternates. It alternates between STAY, and it goes through the whole thing. And let me explain it to you, the whole process of why I created this acronym. It's STAY, S-T-A-Y, STAY. I created this, and I might have gone over this a little bit before, but not the calendar. I'm going to share this with you guys.
That's cool.
The calendar I created because the one thing I hear all the time is, what do I talk about? What do I talk about? What do I say? And so I shared this with my team because I built it for them first. And one of my team members, Zach Neely, literally followed this for what are we, the 13th today? On Friday, he typed in, I think it was Friday. I think it was a little earlier. It was Monday. It was talk about a very big misconception in your industry. So what he did is he says, look, I know a lot of you think you need to put 20%. This is on his Instagram. You can look it up, Zach Neely. He posted this on his Instagram, did a short video. I know a lot of you think that you need 20% down, but some of you don't even need any percent down, depending on where you are or who you are or what you've done. And so he went into that. And literally in the comments, one person said, wow, me and my husband were just talking about this. And Zach jumped in and said, let me call you, baby. And now he's helping them getting pre-approved off of social media, off of his own sphere.
Dude, this is cool. Can we get a copy of this bad boy?
Yeah,
Kyle,
I'll send it. It's the next 3 months.
I see Kyle smiling over there, and I got to tell you, man, it's not every day that I see that smile.
Who's smiling?
Kyle Estrada. Look at that, ear to ear.
Kyle Estrada.
We're going to get this over to the office.
Oh, there you are, Kyle.
Tristan. Thank you.
What's up, buddy?
That's gold, man. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I'll send you that one, and then I'll send you the Facebook one. And I also, look, I actually made a different version of that because some people aren't very calendar visual like me. I kind of like to read it out. So I'll send you this one too. You see October, but in the top it says stay, what it is, sell, teach, advice, you. And then right here, stay. So what are we on, the 14th today, right? That would be 14th. Talk about the steps needed if someone wants to also do what you do. So if you want to be a real estate agent, let me show you what I did, how I got into the business. 15, share a quote about a leader. That could just be an automatic post. Why? You talk about a movie show you just watched. And it's very pertinent to what we're talking about now for the month of October. When we're talking about you here, share your favorite Halloween movie. Ask the audience. Like for me, I hate Halloween because it scares the crap out of me. I was going to say another word, but it scares me. I hate scary movies. I can't watch them at night because I think somebody's going to come into my house and kill me. So I like funny Halloween movies. So like my favorite one is Hocus Pocus because it's like very light, right? And so that's the one I would do, right? But this allows you to just use it and be like, I know what I'm going to say next. I know what I'm going to do, right? That's the whole purpose of me creating that. I'll send that one over to you too, David. So I need you to understand that the social media world is changing a little bit, but you need to be on top of it. And let me open up TikTok. I'm not telling you to go to TikTok, but I am at the same time. I'm really pushing you to shorten those videos to be more along the lines of what people are consuming. And so that's about the 60-second clip. And let me share my screen with you to show you the power of what this is. Because I've been testing out TikTok for the last few months. And this is a simple video I did about a device I use. Got 132,000 views. And it had a whole bunch of comments. This isn't the first time I got one. I've gone viral a few times here. Hold on.
Here's part 2.
But check out the analytics to this thing.
It's awesome. It expands.
53,000 likes.
This little icon.
90% in the United States.
And this, you just
right? 7,000 hours of people watching this.
And it will turn up.
There is right now no other social outlet that allows you to grow organically like TikTok, especially now that Oracle and Walmart are in there. And they are now going to help out with the US version of TikTok. It's at the very beginning. So they're setting the trend on what social media is going to look like. This is why YouTube just announced September 14th that they're going to do shorts. And what are shorts? They're 60-second or less videos. So I'm telling you ahead of time, get on this wagon of short videos, whether you're going to use them to text, whether you're going to use them on a newsletter to email people, or you're actually going to go on social and use it. I would suggest that you pick that social outlet that you love the most. So let's say you love the most. Hold on, let me grab some. There it is. Thanks for muting them. Let's say you're great at Facebook. David, your dad is amazing at Facebook, okay? He's going to open an account today. He's like, okay, I'm all in on Facebook. And this is where I would start, right? Or
can we just pause for a second?
Yeah.
You know what's funny is You're not that far off. I think absolutely my dad would probably want to be one of the best on social media. I don't know of a man more genuine than my father. And people love, people who are genuine. I know we're doing this hypothetically. That being said, hopefully my father does go on there because people will love him because people love him anyways. Go on.
I love that, dude. Team Bravo. I hear that, Roger. Good job. So that I think you just really need to do. Set some time to do it. Set 30 minutes a day. It's part of your business plan. It's the way that the world right now communicates, right? We communicate through social. We communicate, we talk to each other. There's a lot of power in social right now. Just make sure that it doesn't overwhelm you and pick the one that you're already great at, right? If you're already on Facebook and you already gravitate to it, go to that. If you already gravitate to Instagram and do that, then go there. Right? Wherever you go all in and communicate with your audience there. Don't try to go somewhere else before you figure out what to do. Use that calendar I'm going to give you. So hold on. Let me shut this other screen off.
Hey, Tristan, I have a quick question.
Shoot.
Since you are mentioning interact with your audience, I find myself, I feel like I'm spreading myself thin amongst different platforms because no matter where I post, I'll always get engagement. I'm very grateful for that. There's always comments and then people, it takes time to go in and interact with all these people, even just replying or just hitting like and all that. I don't know how David Bravo does it. He's a beast on there, but I just posted my first TikTok video last week or this week. And that's just like now another platform. And then somebody said, hey, I sent you a message on Snapchat. You didn't respond. And it's just, I don't have time to go in and communicate with so many people across all these platforms. Do you recommend either hiring somebody, but then there goes the genuineness, right? Like it's not really me talking to them, it's somebody else. I'd want to know, but I compartmentalize my time and I focus on an hour a day. I can't do it in an hour. What do you recommend? I feel that sense of overwhelm.
Luther, where does most of your business come from right now?
Past client center of influence.
Okay, so that's actually good because those people that are following you on social are usually your past clients or your sphere, right?
Yes, and the 3 double-ended deals that I did last, I just do like a simple walkthrough of a property, my listing, and that is how they saw me. No advertisement, no nothing. I just posted it. It's simple. I didn't even hire anybody. I used the same damn device you just shared that I didn't make a video on, didn't go viral, but I used that same DJI Osmo. And I film it with that, and they saw me on there. Instagram 1, 2 Facebook, double-ended the deals, and I definitely see value in that. But it's like going deeper is just like more time, but I see the results. So that's why I need to develop that strategy.
Let me coach you here on this because that's one of my specialties. You're right about the authenticity, but what I would look into is hiring a part-time virtual assistant to help out with at least getting back to people saying, hey, is it okay if I get back to you in a little bit, right? Or is it okay if I get back to you later today? I'm right in the middle of something. This way you don't lose that authenticity, but you delay the response, right? And if they can also come in and fill in those gaps of when you don't post with things that are valuable, whether it's quotes, or whether it's an old video of yours, or whether it's a short video of a listing, right? Or just a picture of you and your family, or you and your, I don't know if you have a dog, but you and your pet, right? Or something along those lines. That can help connect with the audience. And that's not you doing it, but you're the one engaging eventually, right? And you're not losing that authenticity. So you still need to set 30 minutes to an hour, some part of the day to respond. But the rest of it is being done by a virtual assistant that's working for you part-time.
I see.
And look, Luther, as long as you outline the duties of this person, like I have, right? Like step by step by step, literally, like I had to outline every little thing for my YouTube VA. Like literally. Can
you recommend a VA?
I'm sorry?
Can you recommend a specific VA or at least a company?
Let me put a link up there. Hold on, give me a sec.
Yeah, thank you. I deactivated.
I'll give our boy Roger a plug too. Roger's been using VAs for like 10 years. So take a gander on over to
Roger. I love that, Roger. Good job, buddy.
I love Roger too. Yes.
Good job, man. Good job.
Thank you.
I love that. So Luther, yeah, take a page out of Roger's book and start implementing a part-time VA for now, and then grow as you start seeing other opportunities for you to use that virtual assistant. But that's what I'm talking about.
I actually sent Luther Sanchez a checklist about a year ago, and he responded to it. And thank you, Luther. I can send it to you.
Wow. Wow.
I did ask him about that. Yeah, just procrastination. I never got around to it.
Well, I think this is that tipping point, right, Luther?
Yeah.
He's just making a lot more, well, he's making a lot more money than me, so I think I'll become more interested and start making more money.
That tipping point came when one of my friends, I don't even know how she reached out to me, sent me a message on Instagram, and I deactivated my messages because they were a distraction. And I get into like looking at all kinds of other stuff and those awesome videos that David sends me. And I just get distracted. So I turn them off. She sent me, she wanted to sell her house. Here's the address. I owe so much. Gave me all the details. A month later, I log in, look at my messages. She had already, it was on the market and in escrow already. And I'm like, I couldn't believe that happened. So I lost money there.
Well, dude, that's a big one. So that's where you need to bring in leverage at this point. And everybody else listening in, look, depending on where you are in your business, you can start looking at getting a virtual assistant or an assistant, right? Luther, I don't know, maybe instead of getting a virtual assistant, you bring in a part-time actual assistant in-house as well, right? Because there are benefits to both, right?
Yeah.
And there are drawbacks to both as well. Like one's more expensive than the other. And also when you bring in somebody local, obviously they understand the local market and the culture better, right? So like I said, there are ups and downs. So I would take a look at both. If you can afford somebody local part-time that you can afford to train, then do that. If not, go for the virtual assistant part-time.
Got it. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. And I'm going to put my phone number there if you need to. If you have any questions that you think of later, do me a favor, just text me. It's a community number, so it's going to ask for your name and what city you're from and your birthday, and then it'll throw it in there. It goes directly to my cell, and it's me. It's not a bot. The first one is a bot, but after that, it's me. Okay, so.
No scary movie recommendations.
Yeah, scary movie? No, yeah. Oh, Hocus Pocus, dude. That's as scary as it's going to get for me.
Got it.
But look, I can't reiterate enough that everyone needs to be on social and needs to have a plan, right? If you don't have a plan, follow the calendar that I have, get into the groove, get into posting every day. It literally only takes about, because they're 60 seconds long, right? Unless it's a static post, meaning a picture or something. It doesn't take very long. It takes you longer to think about what you're going to post and getting the courage to actually do it than anything else. But once you get into a habit of doing it daily, you start understanding that it's just a process. And the beautiful part about it is, like Luther said, once you start getting business from it, you're like, wow, this works? Unbelievable. And that's really where I'll leave you. It's up to you. 2021 is up to you. It's in nobody else's hands. And right now, with the tools you have, you can make it happen. Roger?
In reference to like posting, I never posted before the pandemic, like ever on, but thank God that I have, right? People just love it now. I have such great personality. But anyway, is there like a guideline to doing it? Because I do notice, because I'm doing that organically. Like because I kind of started studying people. Like they'll say a story, it'll be like 30 seconds. They end with a song, something like tied to a theme, right? Like in any advertising, there's a jingle, and a hook. Is that like a thing? And how long should you wait between like stories? Meaning like you do one, is there like a gauge, like 4 hours? I can't, you know what I'm saying? Because it seems like there's a rhythm to it, and there's a 24-hour cycle, right? So it's like I get up super early, do something. I don't know what the hell I'm trying to say. Is there like
Roger, I think I have the answer to your question. I'm just going to answer something in general and bring in all the answers in one. So here it goes. Best time to post for social is usually prime time, anywhere between 5 to 8 p.m. You can post early on too. People wake up, believe it or not, with this thing in their hands,
For
and
sure.
they go to the bathroom and they're on this the whole time. So early morning, prime time as well. How do you hook people at the beginning? It's the hook at the beginning, man. You gotta grab them like that. According to so we get to go to Facebook's headquarters before COVID every quarter. So we would sit down and they would continually push us that the hook, you have 3 seconds. 3 seconds to hook them at the beginning. And it needs to be something that's different. It can't be the same thing, which we see all the time, which is, hey, I'm at this amazing house. And right, instead start with a story, Roger. Say something about this house that you love. Let me show you my favorite feature about this new listing that we got. Let's go, right? Like that, really quick, to the point. And then you introduce yourself, Roger. Say, hey, I'm Roger Beltran, right? I'm with so-and-so, and I've been in business for this long, but let me show you my favorite thing, right? Go back to it, especially if it's only 60 seconds or less. So hook at the beginning like that, really fast. Usually people like a different background, not the same background over and over, right?
Yeah, no, that's why I did that. I'm glad that you're saying this because like by watching people, like now that I'm paying attention, like ferocious, like crazy, I do that purposely. Like even this morning, I'll go somewhere and then even if it's just different, so like it looks like you're busier than you are. And really, like you could just be different places and you just do it for that reason. I do notice that you get way more engagement, either if you're like walking and they see like, oh shit, he really is somewhere or somewhere else. So is that just my instinct or that's true? Like,
no, that's true, buddy. People like to see where you're at, different places, different things, and people want to feel good, right?
I make
People want to feel good. They want to be entertained and they want to feel good about what they're watching.
I do all that. Thank you.
Yeah, you're a rock star. You're an all-star, Roger. You're in the right place, baby.
So did I live it. Thank you.
I already like Roger. How can people not like Roger?
Believe it or not, a lot of people don't.
I'm sure that's a whole different story, Roger. All right, so somebody asked, Jessica asked, how about posting at lunchtime? Lunchtime is good too. People do get a little bit of a break, but what you need to just remember is that if you can just post at a specific time every day, that's better than not posting and trying to figure out when you're going to post. If you have an alarm set to post every day at like 9:30 in the morning, just do it. It's better to just do it consistently because then people will start seeing you more and more, and it builds up and it builds up, and then people actually see you, right? So I think it's important just to get into the groove first. What's the info of the camera you use that went viral? It's, let me type it into the chat. It's the DJI Osmo 4. You can take a look at it. It's right here. I always have it right here. So it comes with a detachable bottom. So you can hold it going like this. And this piece right here attaches to the back of the phone. It opens up. And it's just magnetic right here. So it's super easy.
I recently upgraded. Here's mine to that one. But I want to sell the one that I had before. If anybody wants to buy that at a discounted price and get started on something like that, pass it down to one of you guys.
Jessica wants it, so hit her up.
Okay.
So Tristan, real quick, going back a little bit, this is Kyle. It's Kyle talking.
What's up, Kyle?
So going back a little bit, you had mentioned when you're collecting the leads on social that you want to have a system set up so they're automatically getting responses, they're getting listings, they're getting information. So what system do you use to be able to collect that and start the automation process?
So it depends where you're getting the leads from. If they're Facebook lead ads, they're usually, you can do it one of two ways. The CRM that you're using to be able to pay for the leads through the marketing, they usually land inside of the CRM, right? If they land inside of the CRM, you can have an automated process to text or to email or whatever you want. I would suggest texting, going back and forth a few times. And I would suggest also giving them a call, even though they're really early stages. So Kyle, the conversation with a Facebook lead ad is going to look different than a realtor.com or Zillow. If I'm calling you Kyle, I'd be like, hey Kyle, it's Tristan. You just visited our website through Facebook and I don't want to spam you. So can you tell me a little bit about what you're looking for, like specific area? And you'll be like, oh, Tristan, you know what? I was just on Facebook. I'm just looking right now, right? I'm probably not going to buy anything this year. I'm like, all right, Kyle, well, look, like I said, I don't want to send you homes that you don't want to see. That's the last thing I want. So just give me an idea of what areas you're looking for. Like, is this part of Malibu okay for you? And then you start talking. You're like, oh, you know what? Yeah, I was looking at this and maybe next year. And then I get into the whole conversation. But a different approach. And you want to try, obviously, to call them first and also text. If they don't get back to you texting within 25 minutes, have an auto text that goes out. Most systems like Chime, the CRM Chime, has that built in, so you could just turn it on and it goes through, and it also has an AI as well. If you already have a CRM and you want to use an outside source, I'd look into Agent Legend. Agent Legend is also an automated process that's separate and that can attach to different CRMs as well. So Agent Legend's good. Shout Boss is also good, a little less expensive than Agent Legend, but they practically do the same thing, which is automatic email, automatic text, automatic voicemail, video email, video text, right? And that you can organize it however you want, however often you want. And the cool thing is, Kyle, it shuts off when they respond. So it won't keep on going unless you want it to. Like you can create ones like I have for my past clients and it keeps going for my past clients, right? But it's designed that way. Follow-up Boss. Follow-up Boss doesn't do the auto text after the initial text. So I love Follow-up Boss, but that's why I use Agent Legend with Follow-up Boss. So good question. All right, anybody else has got anything else? I'm gonna send everything over to David Bravo. That's the Facebook report that came out in June. That's the calendar, the calendar looking one, and then the itemized calendar one. Anything else I missed, David?
No, not at all. This is fantastic. I got all of my notes here, man. This is great.
I love it.
Thank you so much, obviously, for taking the time. We're going to keep doing this bad boy every single month, but I think I speak for all the All-Stars. Thank you very, very much, sir. Great job today.
All right, thanks, man. I appreciate it. And everybody, remember, text me. That's my community number. So it's a bot to start off with, but then it's me.
Guys, and if you want, please, if you came in late or you want to revisit this stuff, it will be on my YouTube page. So if you don't have the link, please send me an email so I can share that with you guys so you can go back and revisit these and the other training videos we have. So thanks again, Tristan. We appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you again in a month.
Thanks for having me, everybody. Appreciate it. Roger, you
All right.
rock, buddy.
That's true. Thank you.
Thanks, Luther. Good question, buddy.
It's hard to be humble.